So as I'm sure most of you guys know, we're kind of in a Panasonic right now. A certain virus is spreading out of control, and while we as a society are expected to stay home, these celebrities don't have to, apparently. And what's worse is that they're not even taking accountability whatsoever. Yo, what is up everybody, it is your boy Nexus here. Today we're going to be talking about influencers who, surprise, are bad at influencing. So originally I was under the impression that these people with mansions and millions of dollars would be the ones to stay at home with ease, but I guess it's too hard for them. Do you guys remember during the first week or two of quarantine when there'd be these headlines like, celebrities are losing their minds staying at home? Yeah, well they apparently lost their minds very quickly because it didn't take them too long to completely ignore masks or social distancing. They probably don't even know what masks are. And the fact that some of them had spoken out about behaviors that they're currently exhibiting right now is honestly just unacceptable, so I'm gonna talk about it. The first incident I want to talk about revolves around the Hype House, more specifically Charli and Dixie D'Amelio, Noah Beck, Chase Hudson, Avani Gregg, Maddie Monroe, Bryant, and possibly others. So despite the fact that these people routinely break COVID guidelines by attending parties and hanging out with other LA influencers, they decided it would be a brilliant idea to travel to the Bahamas. This is already super problematic when you consider the Bahamas has as little as 10 cases per day, and the Hype House are traveling from a city with thousands. This wasn't even an essential trip either. Noah Beck in this paparazzi interview literally confirms that the intent of the trip was to disconnect from their business. Maybe just, I don't know, take a break from social media. I mean, the trip didn't stop you guys from posting anyways. So as expected, this caused a lot of controversy online, but besides Noah, the Hype House has been radio silent about the trip. Firstly, to Charli and Dixie D'Amelio, y'all have literally went on your platforms and condemned people for breaking COVID guidelines. Now look at you, foolish.
If you're using this time to hang out with your friends since you don't have school, please, I'm asking you, please stop being so inconsiderate. Oh, this isn't going to affect me, there's no, it's not that bad, whatever. You're thinking oh, you're a teenager, you're immune. You are putting other people at risk to get hurt.
Secondly, the fact that Charli didn't lose any followers from this but lost over 1 million when she had a follower goal is astonishing, honestly. I also might as well point out that travelers are expected to undergo 2-week quarantine after arriving to the US, but Noah in this interview immediately goes to the gym. But guys, he's super careful.
We've been so cautious, throughout everything. Yeah.
Sure. The next scandal involves Lana Del Rey and her book signing she had back in October. Now, organizing a book signing during the pandemic is one thing. I don't think I need to say why that's unnecessary, but during it, she wore a mask that looked like this. As you can see, it has all these holes in it, which would basically be the same thing as wearing nothing. Plus, she took pictures with fans while not social distancing. After receiving backlash, she tweeted a reply to an article saying, "Great article. The mask had plastic on the inside." Bruh. Where is the plastic? Where is it? Look at these videos of Lana talking with the mask on.
I'm doing a little book signing and we are at the Barnes & Noble in the Grove. So we've got Charli here, Chucky, Oscar.
Does her speaking not sound weirdly clear? Hold on. So this is me talking normally, and this is me talking with a mask crafted by Lana Del Rey. I just realized this. Her mask didn't even fog up. Bro. I mean, at this point, can we even say that she's lying allegedly? It's very obvious to me that there wasn't plastic in the mask, and she just said that to avoid further backlash. Normally, I would find this kind of hypocrisy funny, but it's genuinely concerning to me how many celebrities have to break guidelines, but also lie about it. In some ways, I'd rather they just be upfront with what they're doing. That way, we can stay away from them. Okay, so I read this article about a month ago and just... take a look at this title. Jake Paul believes COVID is a hoax and 98% of news is fake. Seems like an oddly specific number. You think the disease is a hoax? It's killed about 260,000 people so far this year. Ugh, yeah, and so has the flu. No, the flu has only killed a fraction of that, and we also have a vaccine for the flu. Okay, so at first I was like, yeah, that sounds like something he would say. I totally believe it. But in this other article, it actually states that Jake Paul told reporters that his words were taken out of context and that he actually believes that COVID is not a hoax. Well, the audio of the interview got leaked on SoundCloud and Jake Paul's team ended up taking it down. It's almost like he said something that he didn't want us to hear.
You were hosting these giant sort of maskless parties at your home in Calabasas as COVID cases were spiking in the state. And, you know, it drew a number of neighbor complaints and condemnation from the mayor. And when Insider asked you about it in late July, you said, I personally am not the type of person who's going to sit around and not live my life. I mean, I'm curious, do you regret those comments? Are you still living by that mentality?
Yeah, I mean, it's time for us to open up. Obviously, it's a controversial subject, but it's time for our nation to open up and go back to normal.
You really think that?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
There's people like losing jobs. There's small businesses who are going bankrupt. There's millions of people who are unemployed right now. People are turning to alcohol and drugs to cope with everything that's going on, and this is the most detrimental thing to our society. COVID cases, deaths are at less than 1%, and I think the disease is a hoax.
You think the disease is a hoax? I mean, it's killed about 260,000 people so far this year.
Yeah, so is the flu.
Literally zero sympathy to the people dying. I honestly have nothing else to say. He's trash. Next. The final scandal I'm going to talk about involves James Charles and Jen McAllister, also known as Gen X Pen. Jen is unironically one of the most popular, unproblematic YouTubers ever, but she ended up getting in this one-sided beef with James Charles after she tweeted, "If you're an influencer in LA and you're still collabing with people outside of your household, I genuinely hope you're filled with so much guilt that you can't even move. Someone in this city dies every 10 minutes from COVID. If you can't make content by yourself, you're boring." Then James Charles tried pulling a "this you" on her, but it was largely ineffective because it was her only collab of 2020. Plus, she quarantined before and after, and this was when the stay-at-home order was lifted. This ultimately backfires when you realize James Charles himself has made 2 Among Us IRL videos and several other collabs. He also attended at least 1 COVID party since last summer. So then he just deletes the original tweet and makes a bunch of excuses, which, by the way, do not add up whatsoever. I mean, if you have to clarify that you and your team get tested weekly, doesn't that just prove that you're overexposing yourself every week? Guess what? You're probably advised to quarantine even after testing negative. I think I'm done here. This video unintentionally became a "this you" compilation, but thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy. We'll see you guys next time, and peace.